Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ray here once again. Another Wednesday here, where we do our weekly team training calls. Glad to have you on. And tonight we have something very special for you guys. We're actually going to cover exactly how to close more people into your business. This is very, very, very important because I noticed that a lot of people struggle in that area. And, they might know how to get some leads here and there. That's fine. But they really struggle when it comes down to close and when it's time to get them to sign up and time to get them to take action. That's exactly what we're about to cover. We have a few people on the call, as you can see, and they're all pretty good when it comes to sponsoring. They're all pretty good. And of course, we have the one and only, the man himself, Larry Marcus, on the call, and he's way better than anybody on this call. He's the best of us all. He has way more experience. So definitely listen to everything he has to say because, that's Larry Marcus, the man himself. So, Larry, do you want to get a few words in before we get started?
Sure, Ray. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for having me on here today, Ray, with your group. Really appreciate it. And for all of you that are watching this video tonight, I think you're so fortunate. I don't have enough time in the day, it seems, or the night. We work long hours, doing everything we do. And I love to spend more time with everybody who's in the field and helping a call like this or in live meetings that we've been doing. But I can't get to many of them. But I got to tell you, when Ray asked me to get involved in something, I try to jump. He's got a lot going on. All the leaders that he's got here on the call that are in his group are really just amazing guys that are, putting it together and can be a big help to all of you. So for all of you that are listening, for any of you that are listening on a replay of this call, you're in the right place at the right time. And I'm going to let Ray take this and get through his agenda. And Ray, you just let me know how I can help with talking about specific things having to do with closing and getting people sponsored, because that is where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what this whole business is all about. At the end of the day, it's all about how to seal the deal. And business is the same thing you apply to business can apply to anything in life as far as closing the deal. Whether you want to meet a nice girl, whatever it is, if you know how to seal the deal, then you will be all right in any aspect of life. You will. Because it's the same thing applies to everything. It's all about the right posture, the right mindset, the right level of confidence, and it's all about how you present yourself, how you speak, and just how you deliver the message overall. I just wanted to talk about what exactly I say to people when it's time to sign them up. Before anything, I just look to build a relationship first. Because without a relationship, then they're pretty much not going to sign up with you. They don't want to sign up with somebody they have no relationship with, someone who they have no rapport with. And if they don't trust you, why are they going to sign up with you? You got to be able to build that rapport, build a relationship. So it's relationship first and sponsoring second. And always keep that in mind. You just don't want to go in and just try to, go in for the kill. You don't propose to a woman on the first date. At least I hope you don't, and I hope you never have, but you always want to build a relationship first before you go and try to get them to get started. You always want to build that rapport. So keep that in mind always. Relationship first, sponsoring second. And when you talk to people, very important, you always have to speak with authority. You always have to be bold and don't be passive. Don't be timid in your speech and your delivery. Always be bold. Always be very confident in what you're saying. Even if you might not make too much sense, it doesn't matter. Just be bold. Be bold because they see that. They see your confidence, and that attracts people. That definitely attracts people. And you want to see, people want to see a confident person. That's who they want to work with. They don't want to work with someone who's unsure of himself. And before anything, you always want to make sure that you believe in this 100%. All the way. You got to be convinced of this industry. You have to be convinced of exposure. You have to be convinced that this is it for you. And that's the way you're going to be able to convince them, and not even convince, but just show them that this is the right thing they want to do, because we don't want to be people who convince people. We just want to be professionals who sort. Because remember, professionals sort, amateurs convince. And we don't want to be an amateur who tries to sit here and convince people. We just want to be able to sort through enough people where we're gonna be able to find the right ones, the right people that want to join a business and work with us. So what I say to people when it's time to after they watch the video, obviously they have to see some type of information. If they watch the video, they went through that process of watching it and they understood it, I'll just go ahead and just ask them, so what did you like best about the video? They'll tell me what they like best. I'll do some small talk and say, great, yeah, I actually like that part of the company too, about the business too. That's actually one of the main reasons I got started myself. So do you understand how you can make some money with me and the system here in the team? Do you understand how you can make some money with us? They'll say, yeah. And then I'll just go ahead and say, so how soon do you want to start making money? I learned that from Larry. So how soon do you want to start making money? Do you want to start making money sooner or later? They're always going to say sooner, always. You already know the answer to that. So the next thing you would say is, all right, great. Well, the first thing you need to do is go through the sign-up process. If you're doing it online, you'll say, here's my link, which I recommend getting on the phone. The phone is always better. Build rapport over the phone. But better than the phone is actually in person, to be honest with you. So if you can be in person, I'd recommend you actually do it in person if you can. But the phone is better than over the internet. And then you just want to go ahead and tell them, yeah, first thing you need to do is go through the sign-up process. Go through the sign-up process, fill out the form to the right, and as soon as you finish signing up, let me know when you finish, and I'll get you plugged in. I'll make sure you get started so you can start making some money fast. Sounds good? Yeah. All right, cool. So then you send them the link, or you fill out the form if you're at a meeting, whatever the case may be, and then you get them through the sign-up process. That's how I do it. And it's been working for me. It's definitely been working for me. Larry, what about you?
Well, I'm kind of right there with you, Ray. I mean, Ray, why don't you and I role play for a minute, okay?
Okay.
And I'll show you what it looks like and I sign up pretty much everybody that watches the video that I'm involved with for anybody. It's always one or two, that just aren't good prospects. But if I got somebody who's a good prospect, they watch the video, they can't help but sign up. I think I can show you why. So, Ray, you just finished watching the video. We're either on the phone or in person. And I say, so, Ray, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you just watched that video. It was not a long video, 19 minutes long. What'd you like most about the video?
Well, I like the 100% commission thing. It really caught my attention.
That's kind of cool. I hear that a lot. What was it about the 100% commission that you liked?
Well, I mean, I've been in other companies where we earn like 0.5% commissions or 0.25% in commissions. So, we literally made pennies. But when I seen this, I seen we can make up to $129 per person. So that really caught my attention.
I get that, but hey, I'm sure you were in good companies. I mean, they must have paid you a lot of money.
Oh no, they definitely didn't.
So would you say that you're looking at Explosive really because do you really believe you can make more money here?
Oh yeah, way easier. Way easier.
Now, what's happening here is very important for everybody to understand, right? I didn't work very hard. I'm just sitting back, and of course I do this all the time for years, so I don't even have to think about it, right? I'm just sitting back here, and I'm saying everything I say to Ray is absolutely on purpose, okay? I want to just get him talking, and I want to kind of load my gun with ammunition, right, for a few minutes, because once I got it all loaded up enough, I can close it up, take aim, and shoot right at Ray's eyes, and he has no choice but to join because he's doing it because he told me what his situation was. I didn't tell him. The day of trying to sell somebody by coming at them and pushing on them, those days are over, in our society. Today's the day of consultative selling. Today's the day of, or if you want to call it sharing, today's the day of getting a guy to come to you, right? And you do that by asking questions. So, Ray, what'd you like most? Oh, I like the 100% commissions. Well, why is that? That's important because by asking that question, what did I find out? I found out Ray was in another company. I found out he thought he was getting small, tiny commissions, right? So now I'm able to say, well, Ray, that's a good company. Now, understand, I do this on purpose. Most people would look at Ray and go, Ray, those commissions are terrible you're making. You got to come here to Explosive. And all I'm doing is selling them, okay? I don't do that. I learned over the years that instead I sit back and I go, Ray, you're in a good company, that company you're telling me about. Now, the commissions might be less, but you're probably making plenty of money. And when I said that, Ray, what did you say? Naturally?
Nah.
He said, "No, I'm not." If I would have said, "I know you're hurting in that company," Ray would have defended it.
I would have said, wait, what do you
And
mean?
go, well, no, I'm doing okay. That's human nature. It's human psychology, right? But when I say, Ray, guess what, man? I know that's a good company. You got to be making big money. He goes the other way, and he goes, no, I'm not really making money like that, right? So then I'm able to say, well, Ray, did you really see on the video where you can make more money here in Explosive than with this other company? And he'll go, yeah, and that's where we left off, right? So then I might come back and say, I don't make it easy for the guy. Then I might come back and say, well, Ray, let me ask you, how many people have you put in your other company?
I'll put in about 12.
And 12, that's got to be making you money.
Not really.
Have you figured out what 12 people here at Explosive would earn you, Ray, if they were platinum members?
Yeah, they're all in your pay line, 1,548.
There you go, right? So is 1,500 better on 12 people here than what you were making in the other company?
Than the $8 in my other company? Most definitely.
Yeah. Well, is there anything that I don't know? Is there anything that would have you not wanting to get started with Explosive?
Well, how long has the company been around?
I don't know. How long have you been around?
I've been around for 26 years.
How long you been in network marketing?
For 4 years.
4 years, okay. Well, you know what, Ray? The president of our company has been in the industry 32 years. He's a consultant to dozens of companies in the industry, and he decided that there was a place in our industry that was missing, a place for people to come and be able to have simple products, be able to make more money with fewer sales and fewer people, just like you picked up on the video, right?
Yeah.
Right? So what he did was he introduced this Explosive program, and here's the best part. We're less than 6 months old right now. But here's the thing. In less than 6 months, we paid out over $1.5 million in commissions to people. Ray, would you have liked to gotten your share of those commissions?
Most definitely.
Well, how come you haven't got them yet?
Because I'm not in yet.
Are we going to fix that tonight?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess so.
See, I just close with questions, right? I ask people into the business. And people say to me sometimes, well, you got to give me the questions. All I do is key off what Ray says to me. I just go down the road that he's going to give me, right? Let's take a little different approach, Ray. Let's answer me with some other thing. What'd you like best about the video? How about you saw the 4 people? I got to get 4 people.
Okay, yeah, I saw the 4 people, how you're able to build a huge organization with just 4 people.
Well, Ray, did you think that you could actually find 4 people that would want to make more money with you?
Oh yeah. I got like hundreds of people in my contacts on my phone alone.
Well, let me ask you something. I appreciate that, but what makes you think that there's 4 people that are going to listen to you about making money?
Good question. Not sure.
All right. Well, let me ask you: is it easier to get 4 than it is to get 12, like you got in your last company?
Oh yeah, way easier.
If we were to think you were qualified to actually get started with us and put time and attention into helping you build your business, would you absolutely commit to getting those 4 people this week?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest to get them. Yeah, I'll start making calls tonight.
Because honestly, Ray, we only work with people right now. Because we only work with 4 people, we tell people not to wait on anybody, right? So if you're not ready to start now, we'd probably just maybe send you off to somebody who's just kind of junior in the business. Is this something you think you want to do now?
Yeah, I think it's something I want to do now, especially with somebody who knows what he's doing.
Well, Ray, I've just a little hesitation there. When you said you think this is something you want to do now, what do you mean by think?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm ready. I'm like 95% positive that I'm ready to get started right now. I still have a couple doubts.
Well, if you're 95% positive now, let me ask you this. What would it take to get you 100% positive?
Well, I just have some concerns. I'm not sure I can do this and be successful at it.
Okay, and what makes you think that? What is it that you heard on the video or in our talk that makes you think that?
Well, just the whole going out there and getting people. I'm not sure I can be too good at it. So, yeah, I don't know if I can do it.
That's a good point, Ray. Have you ever done anything like this before?
Yeah, I have, and I did very, very, very bad in it. I found a few people that were willing to pay like $500, but yeah, I struggled a bit, but I was able to find a couple people.
Okay. Do you think that what we're doing here is even easier than what you were doing before?
I think it's way more simple, and I think there's a way bigger profit potential, and you can make a whole lot more money faster and with less people. So yeah,
Well, hey Ray, let me ask you a key question. Do you think you're a sharp guy?
I believe so.
And is it fair to say you think Explosial's a sharp opportunity?
Yeah, it looks like a very sharp opportunity. Very impressive.
So let me ask you this. You and I, we're both sharp guys. We both think Explosials to catch me out. It's a really good opportunity. If we're both sharp guys and think that, would it be fair to say that other sharp people that you know, that if this was presented to them properly, they'd think this was a good idea too? Would that be the case?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if you found me that I'm interested, I'm sure I can find some other people that think like me and might be interested as well. But yeah, I believe so.
Well, it's a simple premise that I'll make you, Ray. We're not waiting around on anybody. If you say, and I'm going to want you to tell me you're going to put the effort in, if you're going to put the effort in, you're going to find a whole group of us putting our hands out who know how to do this, and we're going to say, come on, we'll help you every step of the way, as long as you're willing to meet us halfway. Do you think you could do that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. You're in front of a computer now, obviously, because we're talking. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna email you a link. It's right to the page where you fill out the application. I don't say I'm gonna sign you up. Okay, that's a little negative sounding. I go, I'm gonna just send you a link so you can fill out the application. Okay, it's the same thing if you're in sales, right? You wouldn't want to say, oh, just sign the contract. Okay, that sounds terrible, right? So instead,
Yeah.
I might say, hey, I need you to okay the paperwork. A little better than sign the contract, right?
Yeah.
So same thing here. I'm not going to tell them to sign up. Sign up is like it's like final, I'm just going to have them fill out the application. Make sense?
Makes perfect
Right?
sense.
And I question them right into it. I might say, Ray, let me ask you something. And I might ask you, Ray, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, man, you don't want to ever talk to me about this business again, and 10 being, you are ready to go. 1 to 10, where are you?
I'll say that I'm at a 10 now.
Okay, cool. All right. So as far as making the money, would you rather start making money with us sooner or later?
I'd rather start making that money yesterday.
Okay. So if you want that money yesterday, then you're going to want to do what most people do to be successful. Wouldn't that make sense?
Most definitely.
Most people will just right now jump right over to our application. I can run through that. It'll take us 5 minutes. We'll get that filled out, the paperwork online out of the way, and then we're going to set up your first coaching session, maybe even have you meet a couple of other people who are succeeding at this that can be helpful to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
And I take them to the sign-up page. Does that help? I mean, is that helpful?
Oh, very, 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 very helpful. Pure gold right there.
I want to tell you guys, if you will just listen, and I hope you got a smattering of it tonight, but if you will listen to the things you need that we do training from, either with some of our other leaders or Ray, or especially the stuff I do when it comes to words and what we're saying, and there's a lot of it in your back office, and it's labeled really good between Monday webinars and Thursday Google Hangout replays, right? There's nuggets in there, man. There's gold nuggets in there. If you will take the stuff that I give you, all right, that I for other companies have charged more than sometimes $20,000 a day to be there for them and their people. Here it's all part of the deal in our company, right? Everybody gets it for free, okay? Because it's our company. So if you would take those nuggets and just learn from them, not just go, oh yeah, that sounds really good, but actually play this back over and over. All right, we've got a tape, a thing in the back office. In fact, probably 1 or 2 of them about asking questions being the answer. Right? If you're in Platinum, we did a sales training on asking questions. There's in the regular training, we've got stuff. Learn to ask people questions and just flow with what they say. Ray, I ask you, what is it you like best about what you saw? And let's say you just give me something easy, like, well, it seems simple. Say that to me.
Well, it seems simple.
Well, Ray, I appreciate that. That's kind of cool. When you say simple, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, you just have to go out and get forward. You don't have to find thousands just to make like $100.
Well, you think getting 4 people on your team's a big deal?
Not a big deal, but I it's very doable. I think anybody can find 4.
Okay, so we could easily say, well, you can find four and get going, and you'll be in profit with us. By the way, you'd be making money, and then we just got to help those four find four, and you'll be making a bunch more money. Does that sound like it's easy to do?
Very easy.
Right now, he's done. Right, he's at a 10 pretty much here. I'm just going to sign him up. Right. What else have any of you heard when you ask somebody, hey, what'd you like best about the video? Is there anything you've heard different?
Me personally, what I like, when I ask what you like best, they usually tell me the money, or that the 100% commissions. Or I've heard the passive thing plenty times.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah. So we've kind of covered a lot of that. I think the basics is you ask questions, you go a different way. Like for instance, when we're contacting people, just to give you an example, same thing. I might be talking to Joel and to Joel, and play along with me with some other profession, okay, when I ask you. And he might be talking to me, and I might just want a prospect, right? I can get a prospect every time I want him. It's really easy. I just say, hey, Joel, what do you do? Can you hear me, Joel?
Joel.
I think I was on mute for a second. You guys hear me?
So I say, Joel, what do you do?
I sell cell phones.
Okay, so wow, Joel, cell phones. My God, you must be raking it in right now, making a killing.
I wouldn't say a killing. Business has been doing better, but I'm doing all right.
Now, if I would have said to Joel, cell phones, geez, everybody's selling cell phones. You're probably poor as a churchman. What would you say?
I would have been discouraged and probably came back with something smart.
Yeah, you probably would have said, no, I do okay, which is not the way I want you feeling, right, if I'm going to show you another idea, right? So
Absolutely.
I would say, well, how are you doing, Joel? And you'd say, oh, I'd say, what do you do? You guys sell cell phones? I go, man, I hear you guys selling cell phones and breaking in the cash. You will naturally, 9.9 out of 10 times say, well, it's not that great. I do okay. And then I get the chance, if I want to talk directly to you, to say, and you might want to mute out, Joel. If I get a chance, I have the opportunity to say to Joel, hey, listen, I don't know if you qualify. I don't know if you'd be interested. But if you're thinking that you might be interested in finding some more ways to earn money part-time and make as much money as you earn full-time, I might be able to send you some information about that. That would interest you, wouldn't it? And he's going to say, yeah. So it's all about creating prospects, creating questions, creating things that you know what people are going to answer you, and not taking wishy-washy words. It's one of my selling rules, not taking wishy-washy words. That's kind of what I did with when I was talking to Ray. Ray said, well, I might be interested, I could be, maybe. I can't sign people up on maybes, right? So I'm going to say to him, hey, Ray, when you say you might be interested, what does that mean? Right? And Ray says, well, I think this could be for me. Now, see, Ray, I don't understand. I don't know how to help you best. When you say think it could be for you, what do you mean? What does that mean? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1, you're not interested in getting involved in this crummy business with me. 10, you already see yourself making a couple of $1,000 a week. 1 to 10, where are you? And then we have Ray come back in, and Ray says to me, I'm at an 8, and I might say, well, Ray, that's great. Instead of going, all right, Ray, I got to tell you more, I don't know what Ray needs to hear. So Ray says, I'm at an 8, man. And I go, well, Ray, what is it going to take to get you to a 10? And Ray says, well, I have this one question. What one question might you have, Ray?
Let me see. let me think of a good question. Yeah, let me think of a good question that I get. Do you think I'll be able to find people, with the products that you guys offer?
That's a good question, Ray. Let me ask you something. If you felt like you wouldn't have a problem and you'd have a lot of help from myself and other people on the team to help set up those 4 people for you, if you felt like you had the help and you could get that done, other than that, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to get started right away making money this week?
No, if you can really help me, I'll get started right now. I have the money.
What else do I need, right? I'm just going to assure Ray that, listen, not only am I going to help you, we've got a team of people who are all involved in helping you. And not only are we going to help you get your 4, but we're going to help those people get their 4 as well. You wouldn't mind if we got you making money this week, Ray, would you?
Absolutely not.
All right. Let's get you over to the sign up, to get you on the application so we can get all your information to the company and be able to get you approved to get started.
Okay. Send me the link.
That's it. Okay. Some of us make it so hard. All right. Now, tell you what, though, Ray, why don't you go through your panel and see if anybody has either any questions that I can help with or maybe any comments, or maybe they want to throw some things they've heard lately that maybe we didn't cover that we should talk about.
All right, let's start with Ben. Ben, yeah, maybe go through some of those things and maybe give some tips or maybe just some of the things you might say.
One of the things that I've heard a lot personally, I would say, how long will it take me to make money? A lot of people ask that. How long is it going to take me to make money? How long will it take me to make back the money that I put into this business? So I'm interested in knowing what you would say to that, Larry, just so the whole audience knows what to say.
One of the things, good question, Ben. One of the things you guys heard me say before was I used the term most people, and I do that on purpose. That's not accidental. Very little of what I say to a prospect is accidental, okay, or just what I feel. I say these things on purpose. Don't we all want to kind of be like most people for good things, right? We all kind of want to be that way, right? So if I say most people, then guy's going to be, well, that's where I want to be, right? So I might say, Ben, that's a really good question. Compliment him, all right? That's a really good question. Ben, why do you ask that right now? And by the way, stop a sec, Ben. The reason I'm doing this is everybody answers questions way too fast. I answer every question with a question because there's something behind the question Ben's asking me. Now, in Ben's case, it's because he's getting asked the question. But when I get a prospect to ask me that question, there's something back there. It might be that he got into some other crazy deals, not real businesses like Explosial, and they told him he was going to make his money back right away, and he's 6 months in, hasn't made his money back. Now he doesn't want to lose more money. There's something behind what he's asking there, right? So let's just role play it out. Ben, that's a really good question. Why do you ask me that right now?
Well, honestly, right now, money's just really tight, and, I really need a change in my life, and I look at Explosial and I see the potential of it, but I'm just curious how long it will take, potentially, for me to make my money back.
Well, Ray, most people can get their money back literally in the first week of getting started, right? Now, you don't get paid for 2 weeks, but you could get you can get your money set up to come back to you on that next payday this week. I mean, today's Wednesday. We got till Monday for the close of the business week. All right. If we sit and we actually invite some people to take a look at this program with us, over the next couple of days, if we were to get 3 or 4 people signed up, not only would you have your money coming back to you, but you'd have a profit. You wouldn't mind if we made you a profit, would you?
Oh, no, of course not, because, I need the money, like I said. That's, the main reason why I'm joining. So.
Right. So if I said to you we could get that money on its way back to you this week, what would you say?
I'd say let's go for it. I'm definitely down to do it.
That's what you're going to hear, because I asked the question. If I said you could get your money back this week, what would you say? And you had to say what you said. Everybody does. If I would have said, don't worry about it, Ben, we get your money back this week, let's just get you signed up, Ben's going, I don't know. But I let Ben be the guy that makes the decision. All right, Ben, if I said to you that you can make your money back this week and have the money on its way to you in a couple of weeks before your credit card bill comes in, what would you say? Let's go.
Ready. Where do I sign?
Right. All right, that was great. Anybody else? Let's run around.
Gasper.
Good question. I'm glad Ben asked that question because I've had a lot of, it's one of those questions that a lot of people are scared to answer, and I think exactly doing it how Larry said, it has probably undisputed champion closing ratio, so that's pretty good. As far as questions, I got a weird question next to me today. I've never had it asked to me, and I guess I'll ask it here. I got it asked by someone who says it was someone else's question, supposedly. But the question went, it's one of those. The question went, there's somebody that wants to join Explosive, but they're doing another network marketing company, and they're doing pretty well. Supposedly, they're making $15,000 in that other network marketing company, but that company doesn't allow you to join other companies. Now they're interested in Explosive. They already looked at the information. They love it. They're very interested, but they want to know. And this was the exact question: can he register a tax ID information to Explosive of a company that he has, but that the registration has expired, but it's under his social security number and have all his regular information? Could he do that and not sign up under his social?
Well, he can sign up under his wife's social, his brother's social. If he has a company, I mean, it's really not legal. It doesn't have to do with him. It's really not legal for. It doesn't have to do with us. It's not legal for him to actually put down a tax ID number from a company that's expired. Okay, we're not going to know the difference. We're just sending a 1099 to that company, right? It's really his problem, right? But the question really isn't that deep that you'd get in most cases. You just get somebody going. What you said, I'm making money in another company, and they don't let me go and do other companies, right? I might say, wow, Gasper, did you know when you were signing up that it was kind of a slave labor kind of thing where you only could work with them?
No, not really until I got in.
And how do you feel about that?
Oh, how can I feel? I feel deceived.
And now, bear in mind, guys, for a second, there are not that many people across the world that make $15,000 a month in network marketing. We've got a big percentage of them, okay, relatively speaking, for our size, okay? So there's not that many people that make $15,000 a month, and the chances that you're talking to somebody who really does is very small. Now, you can't call them out on it, but this whole industry is so full of people who, I don't want to say lie, let's just say tell the truth in advance, okay, instead of lying, right? They think they're telling the truth in advance, and so, they're going to tell you how much money they're earning, like you should be impressed. I don't get impressed. I know when a guy, no matter what a guy tells me he's earning, if he's telling me what he's earning, I can cut it down by at least 2/3, at least, okay? I've had people get on the phone with me and say, yeah, I'm with Melaleuca, I'm a player there. And I go, really? How many customers in your group? And he goes, and the guy said to me, he says, I got about 22,000 customers. Now, that's huge in Melaleuca, all right? They call everybody a customer, right? But he didn't understand. He was talking to a guy who said, hold on a second, would you? And I put the phone down, I dial on another line, one of Melaleuca's corporate directors, second corporate director, their highest position in the whole company, right? Because these are my friends. These are the people I've worked with for years and years from every company, right? So I dial up Greg and I go, hey, Greg, me. He goes, yeah. I go, listen, you don't happen to know this guy's name, do you? And I give him his name. He goes, oh, no, first I said, Greg, would you know anybody in the company who's got 20,000 customers? He'd go, Larry, I'd know anybody in the company who has 20,000 customers. I go, well, do you know this name? He goes, oh, sure I do. I go, who is he? He says, well, he's in my group. I said, well, can you tell me how many customers he's got? He says, is he telling you it's 20,000? I said, I'm not saying. He says, hold on a minute. He goes to his computer. It takes him just a few minutes. The guy has like 96 customers, okay? Or it was either 96 or 196. But listen to me. Here's the crazy thing. Either way, you guys know 100 or 200 people in your business is nice. It's a good number. Most people don't do that. I would have been more impressed if he would have told me 196 people and been truthful than being a jerk, right? So I get back on the phone with him, and I said, I'm sorry, I had another call. I said, would you like to know who it was? He said, yeah. I said, it was Greg so-and-so. I said, you know who he is? Oh, yeah, he's actually in my upline in Melaleuca. I said, I know. I said, you know what he just told me? He said, he told you I didn't have 20,000 people in my group. I said, yeah, that's what he told me. Right? And then I let the guy out of it. I'm not trying to embarrass somebody. I said, but he told me that you had a couple hundred people in your group. Man, you shouldn't be telling stories. You should be proud of that. And that's what I told him. Made him feel good. I hope I set him on a good course. He ended up getting an explosion, okay? But the point was that, and by the way, only because I made him feel good. You know what I mean? I kind of let him know. I knew where it was at, but then I had to make him feel good. You You can't just get on people, right? So the bottom line is that in answering that question, a guy says, I'm prohibited, I can't go to another company. Man, sign up your wife, your brother, your sister. You can use a company name. I don't know why you'd want to be with a company that does that. And by the way, most of the time, when a guy tells you that, there's one of two things going on. He's either lying or he's wrong. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. I know from working with the DSA, the Direct Selling Association, and dozens of companies, our policies and procedures are very, very standard in the industry. We use the same kind of stuff. And what every real company says is that you're free to join any business you want. They legally can never stop you to do that. All right? You can join any business you want. The restriction is on who you talk to in your group. You have the right to talk to anybody you personally sponsored. All right? Those are your people. You do not have the right to talk to anybody else in your group or anybody cross-line because you're affecting other people's business and you're not the guy who brought them in. All right? So every company, 99% of the companies in the industry live by those rules. All right? So when you hear somebody say that they can't join, they either don't know, they're hearing it, it's a lot of crap, it's just what they're hearing, or they're lying, okay? Because it's mostly not true. Does that help, Gasper?
Larry, wow, you went really deep into it, and I'm glad because it helped a lot. You touched that point, and you touched another point, which I know it's a little, I don't really see as an obstacle to me, really, right now. I kind of used to, but I know a lot of people see an obstacle when they get someone who lies to them and tells them, yeah, I'm making $15,000 in such company, how it makes them feel, how it makes anybody feel. And I'm glad you touched into that subject, how.
Good point. Let me jump on that a second. So the guy says, well, I make $15,000 a month where I am. And I go, well, heck, Gasper, there's certainly no reason for you to be talking to me, is there?
I mean, but I would like to make some more money. The compensation plan looks wonderful, which is what the situation.
Gasper, if you're making 15, I assume that this 15,000 that you're making where you are, there's got to be more upside, right? You already got a concentration, you already got a group, you already got duplication going. You wouldn't want to change that, right? You can make more money right where you are, can't you?
Not with your compensation plan on Exposure compared to where I'm at now.
I see. So tell me what you'd like to do.
I'd like to get on and not get in trouble in any way and just get on and start making money.
Okay. Well, I don't know that you want to bring the people you have in your other business. You don't want to destroy that income, right? I mean, that income, I don't know. You're saying 15. That could be the high. Maybe it's 5,000 one month, 15 another. I don't know. Okay. You know better than me, but I'm letting it out here, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of letting you out, right?
Mm-hmm.
In case you got to tell me it ain't that much, okay? And so I don't know what you make month to month, but here's the thing: you can. I don't want to take you away from. In fact, you know what? I don't want to take you away from what you're doing at all, Gasper. I think you just ought to build. I think if you were talking to the president of our company, he'd tell you to stay right where you are and build your business.
Wow. So what should I do?
It's up to you.
Wow.
Are you making enough money in the business you're in, whether it's 15, whether it's 5, whether it's 50? Are you making enough money that you think over the next 6 months to a year you're going to make whatever goals you have come true?
No, not for the rest of my life, no.
Okay. So then can we agree that whether it's Explosive or something else, from what you're telling me now, you're going to have to make some kind of change? skills and how to basically get me as their upline on the phone if they're having trouble. Does that make sense? Welcome back, Ray.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. It keeps knocking me off, so apologize.
All right, so did that help now, Ben? Was that helpful?
Oh man, that was really helpful. I mean, honestly, like everybody that is on this call, you need to pay attention. Larry is the owner, the man that made this whole program, made everything possible. All the incomes are making everything. So you need to listen to everything he has to say. This is like blowing my mind because I tried for 2 days. I did it on purpose. I went out there and all I did, and people would contact me and say, I want to know about the business. Here's the video, go watch it. I didn't hear anything from any of those people. But if you take the time and you ask them questions like Larry said, it's all about scarcity. It's all about showing people I'm scared about the whole pyramid thing because I've been in a lot of pyramids that I feel, so I really don't know what to do,
Ben, that's really a good point. I mean, I'm making a lot of money. I got lots of people we work with that make money. We've got people that are making, a couple of $1,000 a week, $10,000 a month after just a month or so. Seen more people making money here than anywhere else in the industry. Companies paid out over $1.5 million. It's less than 6 months old. I don't know if this is right for you either.
Well, I mean, honestly, the reason I'm contacting you is because I need a change in my life. I mean, I've tried so many different things, but I see the earning potential and explosion, and it just blew me away. I mean, for people to be able to, make more than I even pay into the company, all the savings, everything, it's a no-brainer for a lot of people.
Well, I know, but the thing is, you feel like you haven't been able to do it yet. I mean, why would you think you could do it here?
Well, I think because I've heard from friends, I really don't know, but I've heard from friends there's a lot of training, there's a lot of support and everything else, and I really feel like if I have a team that's strong enough that I can do great because I never had the support that I needed in any other company.
So if I asked you to sell yourself to me, because honestly I'm way overdone with the people I'm working with now, and you haven't had enough success for me to normally say I'm going to jump in and work directly with you. If you were to kind of sell me on the fact that you were that right guy, what would you say to me?
Well, I would tell you I'm
very you can stop here, okay? But do you see the way this turned around, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, because you're flipping their whole mindset into thinking like, wait, I'm better than this, instead of them just sitting there and just doubting themselves. You actually made them, like my whole mindset changed, even though I was role playing, my whole fake mindset changed to like, I'm better than this, like I got to show this guy I'm better than this.
Right. Instead of him making me sell him on the business, I turn around and make him sell me on why I should take the time to work with him. Right? Can I tell you that when I meet people and we talk and they say, hey, I might be interested in the kind of thing you do, I say, well, cool, do you have a resume that you can email over to me? I do that all the time. I got stacks of resumes over the years, okay? And here's the funny thing. We'll all laugh about this, right? Like Ray is like ready to fall over, right? And Gasper's like, oh, no, right? But, wait till you guys get to New York. I am not the serious guy you see on all these calls we do, okay, at all. I'm just a lunatic. But the thing is, you got to understand, as much as we joke about this, like we kid about send me a resume, guys, I'm really serious. My whole life changed in network marketing when I understood this phrase. It's one I've used for years. I'm the guy. Wait a minute. I got one. Hold on. Hold on. I've got the cookie. Okay? You've got the cookie. You've got the cookie. You want some? Here you go, Joe. All right? You've got the cookie. All right? Now, I want you to know this is a diet, sugar-free cookie. All right? But you've got the cookie. All right? And as soon as you figure out that we're the guys, you're the guys wearing the white hats, okay? We're the good guys, right? We're the good guys. We've got what people want. They don't have anything you want. You don't want to be broke like them. You don't want to be stressed out like them. You don't want to be in 5 other businesses being broke like them, okay? You've got the cookie, right? You've got the cookie, and instead of going, here, please, take the cookie, please, eat the cookie, instead of doing that, I go, listen, I got this cookie, and it's really good, okay? And I know you want some. Okay, I know you do, right? I got the cookie, all right, and I'm looking. You don't got one, all right? So like, I'm gonna, this is really good, okay? Really good means $1,000 a week or more, okay? And it is really good, all right? You got to come get the cookie if you want it. I'm not gonna ram it down your throat. Is that fair enough? And I'll get a guy I'll talk to like almost like that, and he'll be like, yeah, I got it, I want your cookie, right? I mean, and that. You know, everybody's out there trying to be so formal, man. I'm just like walking around with cookies, okay? And it's just the stupidest thing, but it works, right? You've got the cookie in your hand. You may not see it like I happen to have one, but you've got the cookie in your hand. It's there. Those people want what you got. You just got to get them to understand that they want it and show them that you can deliver it by asking them questions, all right? Ben, if I said to you that by next week, you could know there's $1,000 heading towards your bank account, what would you say?
Give me the cookie. I want the whole cookie.
What, is that chocolate chip?
The whole cookie.
Man, you guys got me wanting a cookie now.
Right. So, you know, I just ask questions, right? I go, Ben, you know, a lot of people, most people that work with us actually are able to generate money in their first week. That's not something you'd be interested in, is it?
Definitely. Definitely.
Hey, Ben,
yeah.
if I told you that most of the folks we work with, that most people who work with us and do just what we teach them, manage to earn a full-time income, a good full-time income, working only 2 days a week, what would you say?
Sign me up. There's no question. 2 days compared to...
This ain't hard. This ain't hard, folks, right? We're working too hard, right? Guy says, what do you do? Some of you are going, well, excuse me, you know, we're talking, hey, Ray, how's it going? Cool, man, everything's good. And then the guy says, hey, what are you doing now, Larry? And I go, well, wait, excuse me, let me get ready. Okay, me, let me tell you what I do. I'm in distribution, marketing, sales, manufacturing, all in one. What I do is I help companies build these distribution networks where we move product here 4,000 to other people around the world, international in scope. And right now I'm working on becoming a Star Trek commander in our unique advanced, 18-up, passive linear compensation program. Sounds like something you'd want to find out more about, isn't it?
Sure.
Repeat yourself.
Oh man, guys, what do I do? I go, man, I help people learn to make money on the internet. You can't believe it. Most people working with us, they're like working 2 days getting paid for 7. It's the most amazing thing. Hey man, tell me about that. Right? Guy watches the video. I go, man, I don't know what you thought about the video, you know, Ray, but I'll tell you, we've got like most people that work with us, they're working part-time. They're working part-time and they're making more money within a month or two than what they make full-time. But I don't know that matters for you, Ray. You probably love your job, don't you?
No way, man. I want out.
You don't like your job?
I don't like being told what to do and bossed around.
I'm on a video. Well, heck, why are you still there?
I mean, it's my only option right now.
Well, what if I told you you could be making money here with us this week?
Ow.
I mean, is that something you'd want to do?
Yeah, I mean, if it makes sense to me, yeah. It's
When
simple.
you say if it makes sense, Ray, what do you mean?
You know, if I don't know. It depends what it is that you're offering. If whatever you're offering makes sense to me, do you have like what is it all about? If it makes sense, I'm definitely up for it.
Hey Ray, if I could take you and me and we went 2 towns over so nobody knew us, and what we did was 3 nights a week for the next year. All right, we shoveled chicken coops. We just shoveled the crap out of chicken coops. But it was guaranteed that if we did that for the next say 6 months, right, 3 nights a week, nobody knows us, nobody sees us. We do that for 6 months, 3 nights a week. We're going to make an extra $10,000 a month. Would you do that?
Heck yeah.
Me too. Guess what? I'm going to let us off the hook because what Explosial is a whole lot easier and smells a lot better. So let me show you what we're doing and we'll get you started tonight, all right?
All right. Sounds good.
Everybody's working too hard, man. Right? You've got the cookie. You've got the cookie. Ray, I don't want to. I know you've got some other things you want to do. It's getting late.
Let me get that cookie. Yeah, look, I have a question. I always have people that want to know what do they say, because you always have people that sign up but they don't pay. They're unpaid signups. Right. So they want to know what do you say to people that haven't paid when you call them on the phone to follow up with them? Okay,
good question. And by the way, in our new software system, that won't be an issue. You will not be able to actually sign into the system without paying, just so everybody knows, okay? But in answer to that question for what's going on now with the Explosive program, if you're sponsoring people correctly, you don't have that, okay? If you're sponsoring people by following up and talking with them and talking them through the sign-up process, you don't have that, right? Now, on the occasion where somebody doesn't sign up right away and then they decide to go, and even if they're intending to pay, they get a little frightened, right, when the money comes up, so they don't pay. Or it could just be that they got distracted, the wife or the husband called them, whatever, and they said, I'll get back to this later and finish it up, right? But I give them a call and I go, hey Ray, Larry Marcus from Explosive, how you doing?
I'm great. You?
Good. Hey Ray, I saw that you took a really, really great first step and filled out an application on my website. Let me ask you, what was it that got you to do that?
Well, I just started watching the video, and halfway through the video, I just clicked the Get Started Now button on the bottom under the video, and I just decided to fill out the application.
Super. And here's the important thing, Ray. We actually can't position you and get you in the best position to get the most help from all of our team unless we've actually got your membership paid for. Was there any reason you didn't get the membership paid for while you were just doing the application?
Well, I didn't know that I actually had to pay until they brought it up later on in the video. So I just filled out the form without knowing I had to pay.
Okay. And let me ask you this. Would you think that, and you got 2 choices, it's either about $54 to get started, or if you wanted to earn about 5 times the money in the program, it would be $154. Let me ask you this, Ray. You interested in earning the maximum amount of money this week that you can?
I want maximum payout.
Okay. And I mean, look, I know for most people, $154, even though it's certainly some change, it's not the end of the world, but I don't know your personal financial situation. If everything was right and you knew you were going to get started and make money this week, is there any reason that you couldn't put the $154 on a credit card?
I'll be able to pull it off.
Can you do that today?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm asking is there's some people I'd like you to meet in our team, and the only thing is if I don't have you in the right position and somebody else jumps in that position first, that you started to get to when you fill out the application, somebody jumps in that position first, you're going to lose out on some of the benefit you could get. I would assume you want to get all the benefit you can get, you want to get started, and you want to be making money this week, right?
Yeah, I want to get the most bang for my buck.
Great. Are you in front of a computer?
Yeah.
All right, let me take you back over to where you got to go, and I just move them right through.
Now, question. What if I would have said, no, I don't have the $154, I only have $54?
Okay. Well, I'd say, Ray, let's do this. Let's get you started with our gold membership in our affiliate program. It's $53.95, right? And that's a monthly fee. You won't have the opportunity to earn $100 commissions in case people happen to join below you, but that's okay. You can earn your way up to that position. You can make $100 in the program, and apply that over to getting into the platinum program. Does that sound fair to you?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, that's what we do.
Okay, let's do it. Simple.
What other questions we got?
Let me see. Yeah, so that's pretty much. I had that one. I had another question. Somebody wanted to know if you use the product in any way in order to get people to sign up.
I personally don't find that I have to. Some people are finding that they really like doing a join.me presentation, right, where you share your screen. If any of you don't know what that is, just go to join.me, join.me. It's a free screen sharing program where you can actually set up a screen sharing session and have somebody else, you give them a login number, they come to that join.me site, you give them a number, and they can actually log in and see your screen. So what some people are doing is putting our shopping discount program up on their screen and then showing that to people, taking them through it. Most of the people doing the biggest business are just using the video presentation or downloading the flip pages in the back office and using that, and then they just sign them up.
Okay, sounds good. Now, I know it's getting a little late, but Leo and DeMarco and Sam, if you have like a question, like an objection that you guys have when it comes to signing people up or whatever, yeah, ask it right now so we can see how we answer it. Now we have Larry.
Yeah, I have one. Larry, how would you answer on people that think it's a pyramid scheme? I mean, I know how to deal with it, but I have a lot of people on my downline, they still struggle with that answer.
Well, let me ask you first. What do you say when somebody says this looks like a pyramid?
I mean, I normally tell them that it's not a pyramid scheme because you can make money without recruiting people. I mean, you deal directly with business owners and sign them to the subscriptions. I mean, you're still making money without recruiting people.
Okay. Well, kind of what I just did to you is what I'll do with somebody. Like somebody says to me, this sounds like one of those pyramid schemes. Here's how I usually answer. I might say something like, well, you know what? That's really an interesting question. It's the first time I've heard that, in a long time. When you say like a pyramid scheme, what is it that you mean? And the reason I say that is because I don't know what they mean by pyramid scheme in their mind. We make assumptions sometimes that isn't true. That's why I ask questions so I know exactly what to deal with, rather than saying all kinds of crap in defense of something I don't need to defend, right? So, I say and if I was to say to that prospect that's asking you that, what do you mean by pyramid scheme? What do you think they would say?
You only get paid when you recruit people, and the people at the top make most of the money.
Most people would answer that and go, that's where you got to buy these products, and you get a garage full of them, and you just get paid on other people, and there's no real, there's nothing real about it or anything like that, right? And I'd say, well, gosh, it doesn't sound like us at all. I mean, that's not what we do. Number one, we don't ship any products to your garage, right? So you don't got to worry about having your garage full, and because we just don't do that. And number two, we just simply pay people on sales. Paying people on recruiting people wouldn't be something that's legal. We don't do it. We pay people based on sales that are made. And I don't know if you're aware of this. Tell me if you are or not, but this direct selling network marketing industry that you're talking about, that you're comparing to a pyramid scheme, is responsible for doing $167 billion of business across the world in 2012. And it's got people like Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest men in the world, Donald Trump, one of the wealthiest men in the world. It's got people like that who are involved with us in our industry. Do you think they'd be involved in a pyramid scheme?
No, sir, not at all.
That's kind of where I go with it.
Right. Appreciate it.
Anything else?
Now, DeMarco, you have a question? Any objections?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Larry, what do you do when someone says to you, why do I have to pay to get involved?
Good question. So somebody says, okay, I like this, but why do I have to pay to get involved, right? Well, let me ask you something, DeMarco. Do you understand the idea that you can't really explain something to somebody really well and have any credibility about, for instance, our products if you don't have a membership and own our products? Does that make sense?
Right.
You would probably think that I'm just full of hot air if I'm telling you you ought to buy this product, but I don't own it, right?
Absolutely.
So that's one reason we think everybody should be a product of our product, be familiar with them, and use them for their own business, right? You can use these incentive certificates to give away to people who look at any business you might own, right? Or who become a customer for you. You can use our website builder to create, websites. You can get training on how to deal better with people in our sales training program. All kinds of things you can do with our products, and so we want you to do that. And if you understand our compensation plan, we get paid on sales. We get paid on the sale of the product, not on somebody joining, right? So do you think that you would be more likely to help a new guy who wanted to make some money and wanted your help if he owned the product so you got paid a commission on it?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty much the same for all of us. We tend to work with the people who participate, right? And so, you don't have to own the product, but, boy, you're not going to find a lot of team members wanting to help you if you don't know enough about the product to talk about it,
Right.
and if we're all not getting paid in the process. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Hey, let me make one note here that I think when I was talking to Ben, I think it was either Ben or Gasper, we were talking, and something about the money came up. Or maybe it was with you, Ray, and you said, well, what if the guy says I don't have the money? All right, let me tell you, there's two words that everybody on this call ought to get familiar with, and those two words are sponsor up. Okay, sponsor up. Let me tell you what I mean by that, right? Normal people, normal adults in America, and then you may not fit that, okay, yourself. That's okay. But normal adults in America, certainly 25 years old and up, right, absolutely should have $155 either in their checking account or on their credit card, okay? If you have somebody who doesn't have $155 available, or even is going to tell you that, because I didn't have $150 that I needed when I joined my network marketing company in 1981. I didn't have the $150 that it was going to cost. I didn't look at the guy who was going to sponsor me and go, I don't have the money. I said, listen, can I stop by tomorrow and get this application filled out and give you money? And those are the days of, applications and everything, right? He goes, sure, we can do it tomorrow. I said, great, I'll call you in the morning. I left his house. I went to my parents' house. I was 23 years old, but I was busted. I went to my parents' house, and I borrowed $150 from my mother. And the next day, of course, I put my mom and dad into business, okay? So it cost her $300. But, I went and borrowed the $150, and the next day went back to Bert's house and gave him a check and gave him the application, right? I didn't go complaining I didn't have the money, right? What was I going to do? What was he going to do? I wasn't asking him to loan me the money, right? So I just did what I had to do. I don't know why personal responsibility is such an issue today, right? But any real adult, right, either has $155 or come this payday can have it if they want to. I would submit to you that for most people, the money is not a money problem. It is a priority problem. There's always money around for something somebody needs. It's joining this business, and not really joining this business, but starting the first day, the next 30 days of their future. That's got to be the priority. Here's a question I might ask somebody. I might say, Ray, you tell me you don't have the $155. Ray, do you know what it costs to replace a transmission in a car?
Like almost $2,000.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. If today when you were on your way home from work, your transmission blew, and that was the way you had to get to work to keep making money to pay your bills, and you took that into the transmission center tomorrow and they told you it was going to cost $2,000, would you find the $2,000?
That's actually, that question, something like that actually happened to me when I was at my old job. I was going home and the same thing happened. My transmission blew, but I needed it. I did just that, and they told me that. And I told them, yeah, it's a lot of money, but yeah, I can come up with it.
Yep. So what happens is the guy says, well, yeah, I guess I'd have to come up with the money. I got to go to work. I got to keep paying my bills. I go, well, you know what, Ray? I'll make you a deal, all right? Because I'll give you a week to get this money together, but I don't want you to wait. I want you to get started right now. I got time this week to work with you. Take the money. You only need $150. The transmission would have been $2,000. Take the money you would have used for the transmission that you would have found for the transmission. Let's get you started tonight, And here's what I'll do for you. If your transmission happens to go out in the next week before you get paid again, I'll give you the $150 back to fix it, all right?
All right, sounds good.
It's
Sounds
always
good.
a priority issue. Very rarely.
Yeah.
And if it is a true money issue, if you're taking money that this guy won't have ever, and you're taking it off his, the little bit of ramen noodles that he's buying for his family, you are in the wrong place, okay? I am just going to tell you, I love helping people, but you got to help people who want to help themselves. Get the hell out of that environment and start talking to our marketplace. Our marketplace is not people who can scrape together $53 with their noodle money, okay? I love them, and I want them to succeed, but they got too much not on their plate, okay, to do this. They certainly don't got no extra cookies, all right? You're the one with the cookies, okay? And I love them, but you know what? The poor can't help the poor. I had the 13th wealthiest guy in America whose family owns the largest direct selling business in the world, sitting in a pool in Maui with him one morning. And I looked, and it was in a day that I didn't have much money, and he looked at me and he said, I'm going to teach you something this minute, Larry, and that's that the poor can't help the poor. He says, your responsibility to the rest of society is to get your ass out there and make yourself successful. It's to get out there and do whatever you need to do to get you and your family so that you're free from financial struggle, free from worry, and when that happens, you're going to be able to go back and help lots of people. You're going to help them with money, with time, and maybe putting your hand out and helping them build a business. But you can't really help people until you're okay yourself, and that's your priority. You know what? Turned it around for me that day. Of course, in Maui, by a nice pool, a gorgeous morning with a croissant, it was a nicer way to do it, but it was still good. It was all good.
Makes perfect sense. And last question, Sam, do you have any objections you come across?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, great. The question I've been getting lately was, how long has this company, been around, and is it real? Like, I get those type of crazy questions almost on a daily.
Ray, what was it? Is this real? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
And how long has this company been around, and is it real?
Sure. Hey, the company's been around. That's the great part of this. The company's around about 6 months, paid out over $1.5 million in commissions to people just like you and me. Amazing scenario. One of the owners of the company, he's in this industry 32 years. He's an accomplished expert and consultant. But let me ask you a question, Ray. Why was it that you're asking me how long the company's around?
Is because I've been a lot of companies that's been around probably like a year, but they shut down.
Okay. And so is that what you're worried about, that happening to you again?
Yes.
Okay. And when you look at Explosion, what do you think?
When I look at Explosion, it's just amazing. The 100% of commissions, the leadership. It's just wonderful when I look at Explosion.
You know what? Me talking to you as if, let's say, I was just another affiliate. Say, look, I've talked with this guy Larry Marcus who owns the company, and I figured out talking to him that the company has got to be here for the long haul. Because here's why: they don't really make any money on the product, right? The only way they make money is on the $24.95 affiliate fee. Now, that's not all profit. First of all, credit card charges come out of that, so it's less than $25, but quite a bit. Second of all, they got to pay overhead, employees, office space, all these things, right? So you understand the company doesn't make $24.95, right?
Yeah.
So they don't make all that much. So and they've got a big investment in getting this thing started, right? So wouldn't you think? Would you agree with me that it must be they're planning to be around for the long haul since they ain't making any money up front, right?
100% agreed.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Doesn't that make guys like you and me feel more comfortable that they're really planning to be around?
Yes, sir.
I hope that helps.
That will help great.
All right, good.
Perfect. Now, Sam, could you mute your mic real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, so I mean, we pretty much covered a lot of stuff, a lot of golden nuggets. Now, Larry, if you have to go, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to go over a couple, just to give people some more ideas of what everybody else says, since they're doing pretty good too.
As a matter of fact, I'd actually appreciate it because I actually have a 10:15 I was supposed to get to. So I'm going to
Okay.
jump off. Thanks so much for having me with you guys. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. And